Hello, I'm Sister Jane Mary, and we are in Alverno Studio. I'd like to show you the process because I always believe that we don't appreciate the product unless we understand the process. So I'd like to show you the process of creating the ceramic murals that will be a part of your new buildings. Maker. I put the clay in on one side, sandwiched between this canvas, and then I can make it different thicknesses. I usually make it about a ½ inch, and then after you take off the canvas, then you have some additional work to do because there might be air pockets in it. There's a little bump that shows there's an air pocket in it. Then I take that air pocket out, and then I will smooth all this down. And where it's uneven here, I can add some pieces too. So I'm going to patch this up so I can use this. So I put another piece of clay over it and then work it in. So this one is I'll need the full width of this for this next piece that I'm doing. Here's another patch. Watch them. I'm going to smooth the whole piece down to see if there are any air pockets in it. The air pocket will come up like a little bump. It's like a bubble in there. Okay, so I take my flat tool this way, and then I just keep going over it until it's all smoothed down. And this is going to be 3 feet by 2 feet by 3 feet, and that's what my pattern is here. I've enlarged it, and then I've taken the enlargement and I make a tracing of it. I make a tracing of the enlargement, and then this will be put on that slab of clay. I just use a pencil and it'll make an impression in the clay, and then from there I cut it apart and do the carving of the piece then. And that's when the sculptural part comes in. Then you make it like a low relief. I finish carving the piece, I set it apart this way with weights on it in order so that the pieces will not warp. Flat pieces tend to warp in the drying, and so to avoid that, I arrange them far enough apart so that the air can get at it evenly, and then I put the weights on it. I just happen to have these pieces that were left over from some other project we did on campus here, and so I use them as weights. I stack them. You see the color change when it's dry. And the dry pieces you can stack. I usually put 2. That also helps them from warping. And these will be fired low fire. And then they will be as those first ones I showed you. When the pieces are thoroughly dry, bone dry, then they're placed in the kiln. And now they can touch each other and can be stacked because they are not glazed, they just will dry. We fire it at a cone 04, which goes to about 1800 degrees. You want to look inside here and you can see how the pieces are put in. Then we have these posts, and then I put another shelf on top of the post. Another shelf is placed on top of those posts. And then more posts added. We just put 3 when there is 1 single shelf. And then I arrange the pieces again. I stack them so that they're similar in size. and they help hold each other down that way. Sometimes it becomes a challenge to see how many pieces you can fit on the shelf. It takes about from 8 to 10 hours for it to reach temperature, and when it's the high fire it takes longer. But then I keep filling the shelves that way until I come to the top. Then we put in what is called a pyrometric cone. I'll show you a new one. This is one that has melted, and when it melts at this stage it automatically shuts off the kiln. Marked 04. They're marked according to the degree of temperature at which it will melt. And then I put it in here. There's a little lever in here. And I put that cone right there in a little cone in here. Want to look? Can you see this? I don't know if you can. It's resting on this little rod. When it melts, that rod drops and turns the kiln off. This is the bisque stage. After it has been fired once in a low fire, then it's reassembled, and then I will glaze it and then refire that piece again. And then that'll be high fire, and that'll be all the color will be on it then. This is one that's going to be one of 6 pieces that'll be arranged on one wall, and it's from the Canticle of Praise. In firing, the bisque firing, the pieces are taken out of the kiln, and then the glazing process begins. After the pieces are glazed, they're refired again, and the refiring is at a much higher temperature, at 2300 degrees. And then after they are glazed, they are reassembled, refired, reassembled again, and that's what we have here. The pieces reassembled, and these are the finished product. The only thing left now is for the installation of the pieces. And the pieces are installed, leaving a small space in between so that the grout will fill this in. I like to use a dark grout because it emphasizes the design. I cut the pieces according to the design, and then the dark grout helps emphasize that. That's the whole process now, so you understand the process of making a ceramic mural in our Alverno studio on the grounds of the Sisters of St. Francis in Lourdes College. Thank you so much.